bonuses. The third one, yeah, thanks so much for recording it. The third one over here, senior presidential director, is not really going to be relevant to any of us at the moment, but these first two are very relevant, right? So if, as you can see here, you can earn anywhere between 100 and I would say call it $1.5 to $3,000, depending on the rank that you manage to achieve during the period. And this promotion is going to give you an opportunity to earn a second bonus if you can maintain that rank for the weeks thereafter. So you can actually hit the rank, but then you can also maintain the rank. And if you maintain the rank for the following 11 weeks, then they give you a second bonus. That's going to be a lot harder, guys, to achieve. Obviously, to maintain the rank every single week, but every single person on the call should be able to win some of this money, right? Win some of this cash. And I think $100 right now with the exchange rates close to 2 grand in South African rand. So, it's decent money. $300 for director. Many of you have been in the business for a while, are around the rank of manager. Should be looking at trying to hit director or senior director. If you can get to senior director, $1,000 US, 20,000 rand, right? And the other thing is historically, this time of year between October and December is the best time for network marketing as an industry. So for those of you who are wanting to push, it's actually the best time of the year to do so around now, right? I was just in Europe and I couldn't believe how many people are using the LifeWave patches. There was about 6 people that I met at the event that were patching. So actually, one or two of them, actually in our team, but the rest weren't. They were just people that had come from, whatever, through the grapevine. So there's many, many people that are seeing the power of the technology, and the company is just going to keep growing. But this window, this next 3 months coming up to the festive season as well, is a really good time to enroll people and get people on the patches. What I like to do is I like to say, look, you're going to spend money on Christmas presents anyway, rather give people patches for Christmas instead of useless presents. It's a really, really good strategy. And that's what I do. So everyone's getting patches for Christmas in my family. So that's what I do. Invest in your business by using the products as gifts as well. It's a really, really good strategy. But what I wanted to talk about as well today, guys, is how to overcome a couple of the most common objections that you're going to get in this business, right? And then I'll open it up for any of you that might be, wanting to ask about an objection that you're getting, that you feel you get often, that you're not sure how to handle, right? So the first one is I don't have enough money. How many of you heard that objection? That's probably one of the most common, is I don't have enough money, right? And one of my favorite quotes, I don't say this to people, but it's the truth, is you don't need money, you need a better strategy. So you want to write that down just as an entrepreneur, because the fact that you think you don't have enough money is really a limiting belief. And it's one of the biggest limiting beliefs that will hold you back from moving forward in your business, right? Money is just a resource. It's only one resource. There's many, many ways to create value. Money is just simply an exchange medium, a way to exchange value. But if you can create perceived value in somebody's mind, you don't need money, right? So you essentially only need a better strategy. When it comes to network marketing, when somebody says, I don't have the money, I say to them the following. I say, that's exactly why you do this. And then I pause and I just wait and I see what they say. And usually they'll have a perplexed look on their face and they'll go, what do you mean? And I'll say, right, you are very conditioned into thinking you're buying things which costs you money. And I totally understand that. And on the surface, it looks like you're buying a product, but you're actually investing in a business. And that opens the door for me to then go and explain, how you can literally, just by going out and registering a few people on a package, break even and recoup your investment in the first 30 days in the business, right? There's not many businesses that you can start on a Monday and on a Friday the following week already be at a break-even point. So if you're speaking to an entrepreneur, they know the average business to break even usually is around the 5-year mark. So if you start a business and you put in whatever, $30,000, $40,000 to start a business, all your expenses, overheads, costs. It's very normal to operate for years before you actually break even and start making profits, right? So to tell an entrepreneur that you can already break even and start making money in as little as 2 to 4 weeks, is a very attractive pitch or way to come back to that type of an objection. One of the reasons network marketing is such a powerful business is for that specific reason, that you can get involved with a lot less income than it costs to start a traditional business. But the most important thing is that you can get a return on your investment much quicker. And that's one of the most attractive things about this industry and this business. So again, guys, it also determines who you're speaking to. And I want you guys to start thinking about that. Who do you know on LinkedIn? How many of you on LinkedIn? Well, some of you guys on LinkedIn. Many of us on Facebook. But what I'd recommend doing is thinking about people that you know that are business owners, right? So who do you know that owns a recruitment agency? Who do you know that owns a franchise, like a restaurant type franchise type business? Who do you know owns nail salons? Who do you know who owns restaurants? Who do you know who owns a business? The reason I ask this is because these are the type of people that are automatically going to be able to understand that conversation. Make sense? So all of the top earners in network marketing, many of them were business owners before they got into network marketing. They owned some type of a business or they were self-employed, right? So those people already had the skill set to build a network marketing business. All they needed is to be taught how to do it, which is not very difficult if they're self-motivated and they've got the tools and the systems, which we share with them when they get started, right? So think about that. Create a list of people that you know that own businesses, small businesses, big businesses, it doesn't matter, right? And if they're very, very successful and you're scared of approaching them, let's say it's a CEO of a company, for example, somebody that you feel you're quite scared to go and talk to about this business. Ask them for their opinion. Everyone loves to give their opinion. It's one of the best ways to get somebody to look at the information, right, without having to even pitch them on it. And I've managed to get quite a few serial entrepreneurs that are very successful into my business over the years in this industry by simply saying, hey, how are you? I hope you're well. I really see how well you've been doing in your business. It's admirable and congratulations on your success. I've recently launched a company and I'd really just love your opinion on what we're doing. Would you mind if I send you some information? It'll only take you a few minutes to have a look at it. Many people will say yes to that because you're feeding their ego, essentially, if that makes sense, right? So think about if you're a 5 on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of, your income in South Africa, for example, in terms of your level of influence. How can you speak to people that are 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s, and 10s? That's what you should be thinking. Because most of us that are 5 down, we're looking at 4s, 3s, 2s, 1s. Why? Because it's comfortable. It's easier to speak to somebody that you feel more successful than it is to speak to somebody who's more successful than you, is it not? But you have to do what's uncomfortable. You want to go look for people that already have a large sphere of influence. You can sponsor 1,000 people in this business, or you can sponsor 10 people in this business, and you can earn more income than the person that sponsors 1,000 if you sponsor 10 influential people. So take the time to put a strategy together for the last quarter of this year, guys, in terms of a 90-day plan to hit these ranks that you want to hit, win some extra cash to set you up for a nice Christmas, but put a number to it and write it down. So, take a pen, take a piece of paper, write down your current rank, write down how many people you've got frontline in your business. Okay. And what I would say is at least double it. At least double it. So if you've enrolled 10 people, set a goal to enroll 20 people before the end of the year. Right? And if your rank is manager, set a goal to go at least 2 ranks up from that. Okay. So senior director, for example. Do that and actually write that down, make it tangible and put it somewhere where you can see it, right? In the present tense. And if you have a wallet that you carry around or a phone with you, write it down so we just did this at Peter's event as well. Take the goal that you want and write it down in the present tense with the words I am. So I am a, and then the word senior director. Cut it out, put it where you can see it. So put it in your fridge, put it in your bathroom, put it on your phone, put it in your wallet, put it next to your bed. Literally, every time you see it, you're having that thought and you're reminding yourself of the goal. And it's a super, super powerful practice just to help you to attract and to manifest that before the end of the year. What I want to do with the money one is I want to move on to I don't have enough time. How many of you have heard I don't have enough time? It's a popular one, right? Again, my response to that is that's exactly why you need to do this. And then they look perplexed, right? Because the reality is the reason you actually want to get involved in a network marketing business is time freedom. It's one of the most time liberating businesses out there once you've built it, right? So initially the time investment is high, but it's only for a certain period of time before it starts paying you a substantial passive income and frees up your time, right? Passive income equals time freedom. So to explain again, to go into explaining to people that they're investing in something that's actually buying them time over time. And there's actually a book that explains this really well. It's called Beach Money by Jordan Adler. How many of you have any of you read that book? Beach Money, Jordan Adler. What I would recommend is getting the audio book. I have it on Audible. I listen to it every year. It's phenomenal. It's one of the best books on network marketing, on how to build a network marketing business you'll ever listen to. He didn't make a cent for 10 years, and his 11th year, he became a millionaire in this industry, right? Quite inspirational. So somebody who never quit for 10 years, and in his 11th year, he managed to get it right. And he shares his strategies on how he did it. And it's very, very basic information that's really applicable. Third one, I'm not good at sales. How many of you have heard that? You know, I can't sell, so I can't do this business, right? Ironically, salespeople are the worst at this business. Ironically, I'll tell you why. Salespeople are really good at getting people into the business, but they're not good at being able to actually keep them in the business, right? And I myself in the beginning was really, really like great at that recruiting skill. And it took me a lot of time to learn to become better at actually, you know, being able to help people and nurture them through the business. And it's not a natural skill set. My natural skill set is definitely sales, and that's more of my skill set. And everyone has different skill sets. Some people, like Liesel, for example, phenomenal natural nurture that's phenomenally good at building relationships and keeping people in the business. That comes naturally to her. Other people, they struggle with recruiting, so they've got to go put more time into learning how to recruit, right? But here's the other thing is you can leverage your leadership line. So if you're in a team and you know in that line of sponsorship, there's somebody who's a phenomenal recruiter in your upline, for example, ask them to help you with a three-way call to leverage their recruiting skills. Make sense? So we're really lucky that because of the nature of the business, we can, if we're not strong in one area, leverage somebody else who is strong in that area to help us while we're doing the work to accumulate or to get that skill that we haven't got. But what you will find is a lot of people will say, oh, I can't do this business because I'm not a salesperson and I suck at sales. So what I tell those people is I say, I totally understand where you're coming from. You know, I thought that too. So that's what you want to say first. You don't want to negate them immediately, because now you're in resistance and now it's an argument where you're trying to prove them wrong and you right. You can't win that way. You always want to say, I agree, I felt the same, I thought the same, you know, that you have to be a good salesperson to be able to be successful in this. Now you're on the same page as them. Now we're sitting next to each other, not opposed from each other at the table. Does that make sense? I felt the same, but let me tell you what I found. Very, very, very powerful line that for any objection, right? Never negate the objection. Always say, 100% agree with you. I actually felt the same, but let me tell you what I found. And then you say, what I found is people that were good at sales managed to get people into this business, but they weren't able to keep them. And I use the analogy of spinning plates. By the time you're spinning one and you're spinning the second, spinning the third, and you're spinning the fourth, the first one's already fell down and it's broken. So you essentially, it's like pouring water into a cup that's got a hole in it, right? It's never going to hold. This is a teaching business. The best network marketers are teachers, right? Paula Pritchard, who was our mentor in a previous company, she was a professor, a college professor at the university in Ohio. So she's a phenomenal teacher. The best network marketers are teachers. Why? Because you're teaching people how to essentially learn a system and a series of skills that if they apply, they will be able to go forward on their own and build their own business, right? You don't want a job, guys, where you have to constantly every single day be on somebody, running after somebody. What you want is a team of leaders that are self-motivated, independent, that can build their own business, right? And the way to do that is to plug them into the system, ensure that they go through the This is a Team training, right? Help them with launching their business in the first 10 days by try to do at least 2 meetings in the first 2 days for anyone that you introduce to the business to get them that first enrollment. As you guys know from my previous trainings, if somebody sees success within the first 21 days, remember 21 days to detonation, if they see success in the first 21 days, you buy yourself an extra 10 days of time. And that person now is far less likely to quit the business than somebody who hasn't enrolled anyone, right? But once you've helped them enroll someone, once you've helped them go through the training, a month in, 2 months in, you should see that person starting to be able to really do this on their own without your help, guys. You shouldn't have to really be speaking to them more than maybe once a week just to check in how they're doing. Can I help you? Is there anything that you need? But they should essentially be able to now ride the bike on their own, right? And build their own business. And now you can move forward to get a new leader and also help them get up and running to become independent. And that's the goal. You want to work on creating and teaching people to become leaders and create leaders in your business. That's the real definition of a leader, somebody who can create more leaders in your team, right? Imagine being able to have 4 senior directors in your personal frontline, right? What type of income would that lead to? And those 4 senior directors now are going to also go and enroll 4 senior directors. So you'll probably have 8 senior directors in your business 12 months later. That's how the business grows. So the best networkers are teachers. That's how I overcome that objection of I'm not good at sales, right? So those were the 3 main ones, 3 main objections that I find that people get quite often, right? What other objections are there that you guys find you're getting a lot of that you might want to ask me? Because we do have 5 more minutes. So if somebody wants to pop a question in the chat for me or unmute yourself, you're welcome to, and I'll let you know if I've got that objection before and how I've handled it. Fred, I see you saying feel, felt, found, 100%. That is exactly the strategy that I was summarizing there. If you want to share, Fred, about how you use that, but I know you're really good with that.
Yeah, no, I think Liesl dropped these things in the chat. I always forget the guy's name. Dimitri, you usually tell me what's this guy, Eric War, maybe? Whoever, I think it's Eric War, who had those great audio series. And so anybody who joined after May, they maybe been dropped into the chat, but they're very helpful and we could forward those up again. But the 2 that I do find myself relying on a lot are feel, felt, found. I mean, just affirm people once they have an objection, you say, I know how you feel. Because, and I'm always authentic about it. The biggest one I was going to say that I could have dropped to you is MLM. It's an MLM. Like I have one guy in my world, he's really intrigued. He goes, but it's an MLM. I just can't do an MLM. I mean, I haven't pushed very hard on him yet. But I usually, when people say, is this some sort of pyramid scheme? I'll say, I'm sure glad you mentioned that because I felt the same way. I said, and here's my story. It's totally true. It's easy because everything is true. I said I only had one experience with an MLM before. It was 28 years ago. And the company had a great product. It's this blue-green algae. It made me feel like Superman. I said, and I usually tell the aside is the funny thing is I've still been taking a generic form of this stuff even to this day. And and all the claims they proved about it, it was true. But the company was not, I didn't find them so sort of centered ethically in the way that I believe that this company is. And I just talk about the levels of compensation. It was the other company was focused so much on just money, 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 money. And here, it's much more holistic. It's that you have the wellness and health opportunity, and you also have the financial freedom opportunity for those who are interested in that. So I don't know. Those are just a couple of things that I would have said. I don't know if there was anything else you were asking me.
Yeah, I mean, guys, look, the pyramid, with all due respect, for people that say, who say, look, South Africa is very conservative, as a culture, relevant to Europe and the rest of the world. So you don't get those objections really overseas. South Africans will say, is it a pyramid scheme? You don't hear that overseas because everyone overseas knows network marketing is a huge industry, and it's like literally creating more millionaires than any industry in the world other than crypto and real estate, right? So what I do is I say to them, definitely not. If they say, is it a pyramid scheme? I say, definitely not. Pyramid schemes are highly illegal and outlawed in the United States. And we are an official and legitimate network marketing company, which is audited and almost doing $1 billion in turnover annually. So, and a lot of the time, I use tools. I tell them, go watch Robert Kiyosaki's. How many of you have heard of Business into the 21st Century by Robert Kiyosaki? It's a really nice little 10-minute video on YouTube, and it summarizes exactly why network marketing is such a powerful business model in just 10 minutes. And then I don't have to explain. I just say to them, watch this video. This will explain to you the business model and how it works. 10 minutes, I send it to them, they watch it, they go, oh, that makes so much sense. So they go, oh, it's similar to like real estate, or similar to, if a real estate agent referred another real estate agent and got a percentage of his commission. And I'm like, exactly. So everyone is starting to, companies, corporates are starting to incorporate network marketing into their business model because they're realizing they don't have to spend money on advertising and marketing when they can use their own fan base that already is loyal and loves their product to go and speak about it. It's absolutely genius, right? So more and more people, more and more companies are even endorsing and using network marketing now. And so just so you guys know, it's over $200 billion industry, right? That's bigger than Hollywood in terms of its gross income. That's bigger than the organic food market on a global scale. So we're talking about a massive, massive industry. But also remember, very important, we're not in the convincing business, right? That's something that I had to learn the hard way from Paul. I remember once I spent half an hour on a phone call explaining to somebody why this is not, whatever pyramid, whatever. And at the end of the day, that person didn't join. So what you'll find is the people that will join your business are generally not those people. They generally the type of people who are already quite open-minded to having a look at different opportunities. And I always say people buy you before they buy the product or the service. Just remember that. They're buying you and your energy. So if they feel that you have enthusiasm about it, if they feel that you've had a phenomenal experience with the product and the business and the opportunity, they are going to join because of you, right? So that's just how I would handle that. And just remember numbers. Don't worry so much about people that are negative. There's 7 billion people on this planet, and you can speak to a new person very, very easily by simply picking up the phone, right? The numbers is the secret to success in this business. 3 to 5 people every single day is what I would say you guys should set as a strategy for yourself over the next 90 days towards the end of the year. If you can stay consistent with speaking to 3 to 5 people every day, let's just call it 5 people a day, guys. Everyone on this call, I think, can hit 5 new people a day. That's 100 people in a month. If only 10% of those people joined your business, right? That's 10 people in a month. That's 30 new people in your business between now and December. That would absolutely take you to another level, right? And think about it this way. Would you want to go into 2025 sort of having to start recruiting and getting your business going next year, or would you like to do the work now so that you can start 2025 on the front foot? You know? So I would really recommend putting that little strategy together and putting a goal together, making it real by writing it down in the present moment, putting those little post-its around the kitchen, fridge, phone, car, wherever you can, just to remind yourself of the goal, and put a little strategy together in terms of how you're going to accomplish it, right? Which is as simple as how many people are you going to connect with on a daily basis. The only thing you're in control of is how many people you speak to. You're not in control whether they say yes, whether they say no. What you are in control of is how many people you speak to. And the person who speaks to more people wins in network marketing. I think we're good, guys. We just passed 33 minutes past. Yay, one of my favorite numbers. Let's see, is there any other questions here in the chat box? No. Fred, thanks for your contribution, brother. Do you have another question? You had your hand up, or your virtual hand up. No one else? You guys good? Awesome. Who recorded this? Whoever recorded this, if you can share it on that little Facebook page and stuff, that would be great so that the people can watch it that missed it. Cool, guys. Have a beautiful day wherever you are. Pleasure. Yeah, thank you. It's a pleasure. Cool, guys.